Welcome back to Divine Connections, and on today we're going to continue with Miss Alicia Diggs on her story.
For me, it was like, okay, they can't help me legally. Now I'm going to be the lawyer. I'm going to be the judge. I'm going to be the police, and I'm going to take care of this myself. So I got a will to cover my children, because I knew either one, he's going to kill me or I'm going to kill him, or I'm going to prison for a long time, and I need my babies covered. And I even, on the sly, asked my father, if he would take custody, if that was something that I, wanted to do. And without him knowing really what my thoughts were, oh yes, I'm like, okay, I got the babies covered.
Right.
I'm going to take care of this. And I start hearing this voice to say, wait, I got your back. I'm like, what is... God, is that you? Now you decide to talk to me? Because I had an attitude with God. Right. Oh, Lord. And it wasn't why me. It was more so why I can't get him and get away with it. He did this to me, right, and he's getting away with it. So I started hearing this voice a whole lot. And once he was gone out of my life, I went through that a lot, hearing the different voices. When my children went to bed, I dressed in black. I wore a hat, I got my car, I got whatever weapon I had, and I searched for him. I was on a mission to protect anybody else. I felt like it's my job. I know this, but by law I can't get out there and broadcast his name. This guy such and such, first name, last name, has AIDS, say it with. I can't do that, so let me take matters in my own hands, because I feel like I'm the victim, but what are you doing for me? You can't help me, let me help myself. And I went out looking for him. I could never find him. And I know it wasn't nothing but God. I would never find him. In 2004, because I'm just going to skip ahead because it's so much, it's 2011 now, so it's been 10 years. And in 2004, I went to an encounter. I got delivered. I laid everything on the cross. And I'm like, God, okay, it's all yours. And I forgave him. People are like, what? I had to forgive him, because while I'm sitting back holding all this anger, this animosity, this depression, he's living his life.
That is right.
And my life is deteriorating, as well as my children. And it wasn't just about me, it was about them too. So I had to make a decision, and my decision was to allow God to take all my burdens. And when I did that, I became refreshed in this new, alive individual.
That's awesome.
And God is just good. I became very happy. I didn't see him at all for a long time. I felt like I had it all together. Because I'm like, okay, he's out of my life. I'm living this thing. I'm doing fine. I haven't gotten sick. I'm not on medication. Okay.
Right.
I'm still going to school. And I also changed over to social work. I said, God, okay, what can I do with my life that's going to help other people? And I heard social work. I'm like, social work? I can't help people. I can't help myself. So I did transfer over to social work from computer programming, and I did very well. So now I have my bachelor's in social work. I'm not working in my field, but I realized while doing my internship that public health education is where I really need to be. I want to educate my community. I want to, teach tactics to healthy living. So, goodness, 2004, God also told me, tell your story. I'm like, it is nobody's business what I went through. And I was like Jonah, Jonah and the whale. I didn't listen and got swallowed up by the whale, and then one day it was just like, okay, I'm going to be obedient. So 2004, I became a speaker, and I didn't know what to say. And I started telling my story. And I would cry, and everybody would cry, and it would just be so drastic. And the more I spoke, the more I healed. So a lot of people are taught, whatever goes on in the home stays in the home, but sometimes you need to talk. I'm a talker. I love to talk. But I also noticed that I was healing. So the more I spoke about what happened to me, the better I felt. I stopped crying. Other people, you might see some tears in the audience, but I just became more And not to, strut my stuff, but more powerful. I just became really strong, this strong individual that I never knew I could ever be. So, I continued to speak. I've, been on different stations on the news and newspapers. I had the opportunity to be with BET's Wrap It Up campaign, and it was an awesome experience. But before I did all of that, I asked my family how they felt. I had to ask my family, do you mind me speaking in public? Do you mind that if you turn on the news, you may see my face? You may open some newspaper or something to see an article about me. How do you feel about that? They were all excited and happy for me. And it's like, whatever you need to do for you, you do that. So it was so much support in my family. And people say, well, you're grown, you can do what you want. Not only am I infected, but people around me are affected. So it's not a selfish disease at all.
Wow.
It's just not. There's friends that I have. Again, my children. What if one of their friends, family members see what's going on, and then they start getting teased, and everything just goes just bad. And I didn't want that for them. It didn't happen. I didn't go through the stigma. I didn't go through my children being teased. At least I didn't hear about it. My friends, they got closer. They had more questions. Also in 2004, I finally told my children.
Wow.
That part was hard. That part was worse than getting the news. I had to tell my children because I was afraid somebody would tell them. Because I was starting to get out in the community. And I sat them down one day. I told them I had to talk to them. It was really, really serious. And even there were times that I'd take them to different agencies that I went to, and they would see the posters on the wall about HIV/AIDS education. And my daughter said, Mommy, I'm scared. You keep bringing us to these places. You got AIDS?
Wow.
And I said, baby, what if I did? She was like, I don't know. I know what it is, but I'm scared. And we just left that alone because I wasn't ready. But the day that I was ready, I sat them down. And this is the only part that makes me cry, and I just kind of suck it up and try not to. Because when I told them, it was like being at somebody's funeral.
Wow.
They really, really went berserk. And it wasn't because they weren't educated, because I educated my children early. Some people want to wait till they're teenagers. I know my son had to be at least 7 when I educated him on STDs and sex and protection. Because children are really active early. They're really active early, so I wanted them to know in case they got in those situations. What really upset my children is my daughter said, who? How? You don't have anybody, because I didn't have anybody in my life. She was like, Mommy, you don't do anything. You're a good person. Who did this? And when I told them who, that's what really upset them. They didn't like him. What I saw on the surface in my face with his knight in shining armor, but behind closed doors when I wasn't around and it was just him and my children, he was verbally, mentally, and physically abusive to them.
Wow.
And I didn't know. I didn't find that out until after the fact. So my children could not stand his presence, and they were hurt and they were angry. So it wasn't, oh my gosh, my mom has HIV, because they were educated. It was more so he did this. He was mean to us. He was mean to my mommy. And then he, and my daughter's like, he tried to kill you. And I'm explaining, Mommy's okay. So I started taking them to speaking engagements if they were comfortable. I took them to the doctors with me so that they can see Mommy's doing well. And I am doing well. Today, I've never been on medication. I'm healthy.
Amen.
No one would ever know without me saying I'm HIV positive.
Wow.
So it's been a journey. My goal now and my vision is just that I have the opportunity to educate. And if only one person hears, that's fine, because that one person is going to tell their friends. And people are going to know. Not, see and be like, oh, that's that lady with HIV. No, it's more so, I listened to her story. It's powerful. Or she taught me something I didn't know before. There's a lot of people ask questions. I've spoken universities, high schools, churches, health fairs, group meetings. Anywhere I'm asked to speak, I'm going to speak. and educate, because it's not about me, it's about the community.
That's right.
And I know I have something in me that I can share with somebody else and help them. So, you know, I'm excited. I don't feel any shame. I feel great. I look great.
Yes,
you know,
you
God is good.
Yes,
and, you know, that's just where I am now.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I know that some viewers out there were blessed, and if you was blessed by Miss Alicia, I would love for you to send a message on Facebook to let her know. She does education on HIV and AIDS,
Yes.
and if they're looking for information, where can they find that information at?
There are several places to get information. In our community, you can contact Triad Health Project. There's a location in Greensboro on Summit Avenue. There's a location in High Point on English. You have Piedmont Health Services and Sickle Cell on Market Street, right across from A&T State University. There's a place called NIA. You can do a Google search and find all of this information. And also, if you want to contact me, you can find me on Facebook as Alicia Lovely Diggs. Also, my email address is healedlee, HEALEDLEE@gmail.com. Very easy, because I stand on my healing.
Amen.
I confess that. So yes.
Well, we would just want to say we thank God for the victory, and I really appreciate you coming out and talking about your story so that others can be blessed and educated as well. Thank you for tuning in to Divine Connections. Again, our special guest was Ms. Alicia Diggs, and she is here to help you. So if you need help, please contact her, and then also leave messages on our Facebook to let us know that you enjoyed the show, or if you have any questions. Thank you, and have a great day. Stay tuned in to Divine Connections. Hello everyone, my name is Dolores Williams, and I am your CEO of Divine Connections. And if you would like to be a guest on my show, simply call me at 336-965-0366. I'm looking for entrepreneurs. If you have a special story or testimony or an event coming up, I would love to have you on my show. Again, contact me at 336-965-0366. And you can also find us on Facebook. Have a great day and stay tuned in to Divine Connections.